We spend so much of our time at work. Whatever we're going after, whatever we view as success, has to be worth trading our life hours for. At our company, we kind of have 3 metrics for how we measure our success. And we ask, are we happy? Every week in our huddles, we have people score their happiness quotient. The second is, are we growing, both professionally, personally, and spiritually? And finally, are we viable, sustainable, or abundant financially? And looking at this, 2 out of the 3 of those are internal to the individuals in our organization. Only 1 is external, money in the bank. So happiness and growth. We created a culture where innerpreneurship can thrive. An innerpreneur is an entrepreneur, but their primary motive is to realize their full potential, to constantly learn and evolve, and make a difference in the world. So innerpreneurs view their business as a context for which to carry out this internal growth work. I believe that businesses should adopt a 2 to 4 times annual happiness quotient of their teammates and their customers to make sure that that business is creating more happiness for everyone involved. At work, where is your HQ? Where would your happiness quotient be on a daily basis at work? How about your organization? How happy is your organization? And how happy is happy enough? So I have a vision of what the business publications might look like in this particular model of business development. Happy Company reports that Richard Branson has reached new levels of happiness. Fortune releases their Happy 500. We've put ourselves in the business community to really make a change in the world and to cultivate greater happiness, both for our internal workers and then also for the community at large. So how do we cultivate a corporate happiness? What is kind of the framework to that? The first is ethics. Ethos, we talked about that before, have a lofty purpose grounded in positive values, a daily practice connected to it, and then within the organization, repeating it every 7 days so that it makes sure that that organization is aligned with it. And what happens is when ethics and ethos are sufficiently developed, a wisdom within the organization then arises that everybody in the organization is empowered to make solid decisions aligned with the ethos. And measure how that organization is doing based on how happy it is. Is it advancing in happiness as well as the other metrics that an organization needs to measure?
Hi, this is Manish. I think the purpose of my business is to make good things happen. And I truly believe that the measure of that is happiness. How do I make that an objective scorecard for my business? How do I find a metric that tell me, is there actual happiness coming out of it or not?
Currently, there's a lot of organizations and groups and researchers trying to figure out that very difficult riddle of how do you get an absolute happiness score. How we do it, and I won't claim that it's perfect, but it gives us a baseline metric, is kind of threefold. One is asking the question every week, how happy are you, 0 to 100? And it's amazing how candid once an organization where people are comfortable sharing, because in a culture where people aren't comfortable sharing, they'll be, oh, I'm 100, everything's fine. But if you cultivate a culture where people are comfortable sharing and they can say that they're 30 this week and they're really pissed off about something, then people tend to be more candid with that. The other that we do quarterly is actually send out an email that states, it's real short, and some people return it right away, which I know then is a hot topic, and some it takes a few weeks, is I'd be happier at Integritive if, with a great big blank line. It's been really enlightening, to have those answers come back. With clients or customers, it tends to be a little bit more difficult, because generally if people aren't happy, they won't tell you. So the 2 things that we do is we send out an anonymous survey after each project that we complete and ask them to score on many different levels how the project went, and we can kind of suss that out. And then annually we'll actually interview random clients just to see, how happy was your experience, where can we improve, and all those sort of things. Business is where we transform ourselves and our world. So much of the leverage is contained within businesses that as we utilize that resource, not only within our own enterprise, but also becoming inspiration to other businesses to get on with adopting a strong ethos and developing their ethics, that business can be a method for developing a really happy environment, a love fest, one that brings greater value to our communities and our planet.